Seems to be doing circles here.
He's running into. No, he's not running in. He's staying outside, running an emergency lane. Eastbound now. Climbing over the ambos.
Ow.
Tackled Matt.
Hands behind the back. You aren't up against
They
injury your
swap
back, sir.
They tackled each other. He's going Mexico's go up cuffs. Resisted. Fleeing again. Eastbound towards ADMC block. Climbing over Remy. Eastbound. Suspect not tackled.
Sir, stop running.
The floor a bit more.
Circles. Tackled now.
Hands behind your back.
Cuffs. Suspect on radio. Suspect resisted. Fleeing again.
Stop running.
Eastbound.
Stop running.
Please stop running.
Continuing, he's climbing over the jester that's parked here. Failed to jump over the hedge. Running in circles, he's panicking. The car that just zoomed past. Just helped them. Still trying to jump over the jester. And it's not working out
You
too
got
well
him,
for
you got
He's tackled.
Hands behind your back.
Surely you're not cuffing us there, though, right? Okay.
Resisted again.
Sir, stop running.
Northbound towards.
This is
Davis.
unnecessary.
Now
You're gonna go to jail and be tired.
Being westbound innocent.
Not worth it.
That's some hops. Suspect on radio. He's begging for a pickup. Here's a pickup. Motorcycle. Get tasers.
I'm getting
Suspect tackled off the bike.
isn't it?
Oh. Hands behind your back.
tasers for loads
What
of
the
reasons.
fuck, sir? That is really bad from you.
Yeah,
Oh,
195.
195.
Mind if I get back on this?
Suspect on the bike is getting back on the bike and is fleeing. I'm gonna try and hold it as best I can. I'm gonna need somebody else to hold it off, take it off of me.
Did we get the other individual who went on the rooftops?
Negative. He fled onto the motorcycle and fled on the bike. So there's another vehicle. Watch out! Bike's come back. Bike's come back. He's trying to kick. He's trying to kick. Break. He's trying to kick. Break. I'm going to warn him. If he does it again, he will be shot. Otherwise, he's leaving the area.
They know what they're doing. They've been doing this the whole time. So go help them. We're good here.
Yeah, if y'all hear a shot, ignore it. Okay. Disregard, we're good.
Continuing with the motorcycle westbound, he has been clearly warned that again he will be shot. We're northbound, exiting through the farm alleyways, left westbound innocence. Left westbound, continuing southbound through the forum baseball diamond. And he's looping around, continuing, stand by, returning northbound out towards innocence again. I 50'd. He's last seen northbound Alta, I believe, BCB. He went out towards innocence and BCB'd. He may have gone northbound Alta or through maybe the venue's lot.
Covered to the east on power. I saw nothing. From they didn't go that way.
Baseball diamonds, the basketball court area. I believe he either went east. He didn't go west on Innocence. I know he didn't go west on Innocence or Carson. He either went north on Alta or east on Innocence towards like Calais. Or west. I know he didn't go east. I meant west.
We're moving the car to MLPD.
So we can come help you guys because this might turn their shit on. Putting the triage is at where the car crash out. 45 741.
Hey, firm, be advised, we're dealing with the manner as a result of a Polito bank robbery. Individuals are armed with Class 2 firearms. I believe firearms. I could be wrong.
There's at least one individual with confirmed Class 2 firearm sweeper shotgun.
Oh.
195 currently at the AMC block.
Yeah, the individuals at the bank there, it's the manor.
390 is refueling the Strawberry gas station because I have no gas.
Should have overwatch on you guys. If I got shut down, probably it's the garage or hospital roof. Wait, why would you get shut down? Because we have a 95 from Manor, and they're kind of a violent gang.
I was called out on radio that over the past week they've shot multiple times.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I believe there's 4 we student total, right? 3 at the bank plus the swap, and we have 195, so possibly 3 or more outstanding.
The swap was a motorcycle, which was won directly from the bank. So we have 2 suspects unaccounted for currently.
Holy fuck. I did a partial refuel 390 en route to the ADMC block.
Do you have L1?
Negative. We didn't have the unit.
You want it?
Yeah, we can use it briefly. We're on kind of scene control right now. But yeah, if you want to
Alright,
grab everyone,
I'll get overhead.
help
Just
us
cover
out.
you guys. Yeah.
One of the suspects on the motorcycle did drive by and attempt to kick Espinosa. He missed. Had he landed it, I would have said open fire. I said if he does that shit again, if he goes back to the area, essentially he's getting shot.
Alright, sounds good. The thing is, if they were warned that and aren't already geared up, they might be going to gear up to possibly something. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I intended on shooting that motorcycle. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, my Class 2 wasn't loaded, even though all my magazines are loaded.
That happens to me all the time. Do you want me to go check the Grove Street and see if there's anybody hanging around or gearing up?
Take a quick look. Take a gander.
Alrighty. What cars am I looking for?
We got the main vehicle they used, so it's just gonna be like a dirt bike. Yeah.
Just be on the lookout for getting mobile, or if you see them with guns up, also get a vehicle.
The RO of the motorcycle is Luke Attar.
I don't see any. It looks completely dead on Grove Street, to be honest. I see a couple of cars parked up, but
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move to the 95 to Mission Row.
yeah, I don't see anybody here, guys. I think you're in the clear from that spot.
We've had nobody circling the area, as far as we can tell. It seems like they've just accepted to be on this one.
Yeah.
Let's say defeat. I think the main guy got out. So.
We had a big shootout with them and Besties yesterday at a bank truck. It was pretty wild. We got pretty much everybody in custody.
Nicely done. All right, let's get everybody breaking off from the ADMC block and get this wrapped up. I'll throw up an incident for you, Espinosa.
390 will throw in a report. Though while we have some downtime, I do have a question regarding a situation that arose yesterday. So I got approached by Rupert, who's a Shift 1 cadet, or PPO, I don't know, one of the two. And he received a VAF, or not a VAF, a vehicle got VAF'd, and like 11 or 12 people got arrested as part of a situation. It was a gang-related, I think.
What happened, my friend?
And an attorney FOIA'd the report 10 hours after the situation occurred. And that got me thinking, officers have 48 hours to submit a report, which leaves, of the 72-hour period, only 24 hours to fulfill that FOIA request, just to ensure all the statements and stuff are in.
Don't they just have to wait?
Well, based on legislation, only if it's listed as an active investigation.
I mean, anybody could say anything's an active investigation. It's easy to go around.
I'm confused. So the guy requested a FOIA 10 hours after the situation occurred?
Yes, leaving 38 hours still remaining for officers to put in statements. So
No, 72 hours from the time the FOIA request they have to put in statements and get a FOIA.
No. SOPs indicate officers have 48 hours to put in statements regarding situations.
Oh, yeah.
So if we allow officers 48 hours, that only leaves a 24-hour window for that FOIA to be fulfilled.
Yeah. 4 hours is plenty of time for a FOIA to get filled out, I think.
I mean, we can agree to disagree on that. If that coincidentally falls on a day in which, you know, someone won't be available, I think that's pretty shitty. Which is why the 72 hours thing exists to allow for 3 days. But if 2 of those 3 days are a time for officers to add statements, that's
Oh my god.
the issue I have.
Guys, this could be an excellent subject for the meeting today. It's today, right?
It is today. It's in 3 hours.
Wait, is that today?
It's in 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I don't feel like this is gonna be a meeting
I don't
in
think it
which
would
we're
be
gonna be
either.
asking many questions.
Yeah,
I think this
I
is
don't-
like, this is giving like these the expectations, you know? Nah,
Yeah. That's true.
we'll
that's true.
take questions because that takes forever.
I think there will be I think there will be. It'll just be structured, and you know, we won't be able to go way over time or anything like that. And we'll be able to have people stay at the end if they want to ask more questions too.
Yeah, exactly that. In regards to all that, Rhodes, at the end of the day, if you're involved in a situation and your statement is detrimental to that situation, and you know that you're not going to be around within the next 48 hours, then that's on the officer that they should be getting their statement done before they're going to be off duty and not available.
I think that's easier said than done in large-scale situations where there's gang-related and bank trucks and a gazillion pieces of fucking evidence, and one situation turned into 2.5 hours of processing, which could easily approach the time in which somebody would have already been off duty. I mean, that's happened many times to me. So in an ideal world, yes, you're right, but we don't exactly live in an ideal world. And I just don't want there to be situations where there is only a 24-hour period to fulfill something, because if that falls on, hypothetically, let's say this was something sent to Lucas, and, you know, that 48 to 72-hour period lands on a Thursday in which Lucas is never around, that would be shitty.
Definitely some holes in this policy, that's for sure.
I hear where you're coming from.
New paperwork.
We need to speak to Marfa. Marfa! Back in the car. I don't think so, Ginger. Is there a slow walk? Hold on. That's all of PD. Marfa, look! I'm not running! Hey, Martha.
Hello. Right, do you want your part?
Yes,
I'll go and
please.
grab it.
Oh, be careful! Don't run. I know, but it's cement. I don't want you to slam your knee against the stairs if you trip.
No, all right then.
You gotta be careful.
I've not got much coordination, I'll tell you. I haven't.
I don't believe that. I think you're very coordinated.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'd say you haven't seen me drive, but I don't want to say that to you because you're police, so...
I mean...
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Martha, surely you're a
Yeah.
safe driver.
Yeah, I'm a taxi driver, so of course...
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm a taxi driver. Definitely. I haven't been pulled over for a while.
When was the last time you received a ticket?
I don't know, but I think people don't pull me over because I used to just cry all the time, and they hate that. And I've told people, if you don't want to get pulled over or you don't want a ticket, just cry your eyes out. And they're like, oh, I think I've got somewhere else to go. Hang on. Oh, I think I've got a thing to go to. So just cry.
Martha, are you running? How are you getting so far ahead of me?
Well, it's all in the hips, darling. You've got to kind of, you know what I mean?
It's all in the hips.
Yeah, you're a moocher. You're mooching.
What am I mooching?
You're mooching. Yeah, you're just mooching around, aren't you?
No,
I'm striding. Look, striding. With purpose.
Oh,
yep.
I see the long stride.
Exactly.
Okay, now we need to do another walk that's like fast.
Right, here we go. Let's do the deal.
You got the stuff?
All right, Garvey, I'll take it. There you go. It's a big one.
Here's your money.
No, oh, you're giving
Yeah,
it to me in cash,
Yeah,
is it?
well, no. I transferred it, but you know, it looks
Oh, thank you. Oh, bit of a bribe,
Yeah.
bit of a bribe. Yeah, all right, all right.
exactly,
Yeah, don't say
exactly.
nothing,
No one has
don't
to
say
know.
nothing.
No one has to know.
Yeah. What do you want for that? Because I ain't going to do anything. So
No.
no.
I
Yeah.
you don't have to. You've already done
do
done the deed. You've given me the
I've done
the
the deed,
goods. Yeah.
I've given you the
We're
good
good.
chair. Yeah.
We're good. We're
Got
good.
them. Right.
Thank you,
Anyway, don't
Martha.
forget, sign up to the website.
Oh, you're
It's
right.
Not difficult.
Would you be able to give me that invite code?
Yep, I can.
What did you just do? Is this a one-time use invite code? I thank you for the 49 months. I appreciate it. Also, Mittens, thank you for the 44. Yeah, I don't want to leak the invite code.
Well, yeah. I mean, make sure everyone doesn't try and get hold of it. I mean, to be fair, if I'm honest, right, it is like a bit of a secret, but it's not really because only people in the city really, that live in this area can actually, you need a state ID to get on the site, and we want
Oh.
everybody to be on the site. And anyone that's got an account can give an invite code to someone else. So it's not really that big a secret. But yeah, it might be one use. But see, once you get signed out, if you go to your profile, you can then generate an invite code. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
So yeah,
There's no way. You won't believe this. My alias is Ivory Elephant, and that was random.
Really?
Yeah, that's so interesting. Wow. So the reason I was asking if it was one-time use was because I just needed to make sure if it was like, for my eyes only before someone swooped it up, Yeah, it actually randomized my alias to Ivory
I don't
Elephant.
know what you were just talking about just then.
What do you mean?
About your alias.
Oh, well, under profile details it says alias, and it seems to have picked two random
It's
words.
gave you one, like
And
that.
it gave me one, and mine is Ivory Elephant. What a randomized thing.
What?
Yeah.
What's your alias on the? Go to your profile on the court center.
Silver giraffe.
Oh. Wow, guys, I'm lucky. I love elephants. That's so interesting.
You could probably change it. Mine is yellow peacock.
It looks like I can change it. Looks like it.
Yeah. But then
Martha,
I've got no imagination, so I wouldn't know what to change it to, so I left it.
I changed it to Big Elephant.
Oh dear, oh lord, dear, oh lord. My goodness me.
No, Small Elephant.
Can I give your information to Rhodes to just send you the money since I bought it?
Oh no, they did. They did. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I see that.
Saying that they've
done.
just done it. Yeah.
My
It's
bad,
done.
I didn't see that.
So yeah, so in future, like I said, it's not an obligation. People think, oh, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to, you know what I mean, spend that money or until I know. But all you've got to do is that's basically showing interest in getting that park. So until you see one of us, you're not passing any money over. It's not a checkout.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Admittedly, I wasn't too sure as to how that all operates.
No,
the first time I've done anything with the court center.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's very easy, and just get hold of someone and just say to them, I don't want this anymore, and they'll just cancel it. So what I'll be doing now is I'll be just completing that to make sure that everyone knows you've got that part and whatever. So yeah, always ask me. I can always go and have a look in the warehouse to see if we've got it and what condition things are in.
Yeah, no, that actually worked out very well.
Yeah.
So especially the combination of the PD discount plus the the sort of wear and tear.
Yeah. I mean, I was told by my manager to do that because otherwise they're
they'll
going
just
to be
sit forever.
Yeah. I mean, look, maybe we make less money, but otherwise we make no money. Do you know what I mean?
Some is better than none, that's for sure. And the
Yeah.
reality is, it
And
means I'll be in the market quicker.
yeah,
You know, but before it goes bad, and I'll probably end up getting it through the
Yeah.
court center if I'm unable to
Yeah.
source it.
Well, this is what my argument was with people that said, "Oh, cops ain't going to want to buy something that's like less than 100, like, you know what I mean, 100%
It's not
value."
true at all.
And I said, but the point is, I said sometimes people will buy it because they need a part like right now, and they might not have as much money. And it also means that if they like the part and they try the part, they'll get one at full price.
Yep,
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Sometimes it's nice to try it to see if it's good enough. Do you know what I mean? So we do have stuff that's like, less, not stage 5, but yeah, have a look, search for stage 5 and see everything else we've got. But we do get stage 4 stuff as well. But yeah, it's worth, if you can get that discount on something that's wearing down, you
Might
know what
as
I mean? At
well.
least you've got something in your car. It's just you've got to pay for the mechanic. That's all. But yeah, well, I was glad I could do that for you anyway.
Thank you,
I'll sort that
Martha.
out our end. You're welcome. But it was very
Um,
cool. Same as if you want to sell anything to us, if you put down that you want to sell something that you might have, or God knows what you might have, I don't know, but it's never an actual deal, not until you've seen one of us. That's just you saying, look,
got it.
can we have a chat, like, almost. But yeah, no money is going to
Do you guys buy like stage 1 parts and all that stuff? Like, how does that work?
No, we wouldn't. I mean, look, if I pick them up off the street, I'll go and stick them in the in the crates, whatever. But I think a lot of people can find them. But we do sell stage 3s. If anyone wants them. But you're better off searching. I'm sure someone would have one. But yeah, we do sell them. And again, if they're going down, you know what I mean, there'll be a little bit of a discount on them as well. But
yeah, Maple was saying that
just
he
keep
wasn't
checking.
aware that was the case regarding, like, something not in perfect condition.
Center.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
no,
first time
been
I've done
told-
anything with a court center. So I
Yeah,
wasn't
I've
sure.
been told, because I did question that. I said, I can't. No one's ain't going to buy from me if I just say to them, "Oh, do you know what I mean? We want full price for this," when you can get it out on the street for probably a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's like full quality. So otherwise, it's just going to sit in the crates and get even worse. So we
Yeah, not
there
when
is
you can
another-
pay the same for something in brand new condition.
Yeah, I know, exactly. But we need to get them out. So I did say, stop, getting rid of the stuff that's not good value. Stick it in a bargain bin, and I can probably offer it for discounts. So that we don't just chuck everything away that isn't any good. But yeah, so I'm glad you did that, because I was told, oh, cops won't, go for it unless it's. Of course they will.
It worked out in this case, that's for sure.
Yeah, if you get, like, if you get something that equals the degradation in a discount, you can't go wrong. So I think it works well. We don't do it for tires, because obviously you can we do a lot of tires, so you can have a look on there as well for tires, so you still get that 30%.
Oh, is
yeah,
it unbalanced tires, like before they're placed in a set?
Yeah, so
Got it, that
basically,
makes sense.
say you've got a couple of tires that aren't looking too good, but then you buy from us a couple of tires that's might be a bit better or less. The mechanic can you probably already know this anyway. The mechanic can make them
And kind of like retread them all as one set and get them all to match. Yeah,
exactly.
no, it makes sense.
So if you've got some good ones and you see we've got ones that ain't so good and you're about to get them put on, it's worth having a little look. But we don't give you that like with a discount, because we know you can do that. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
It would be silly if you could take advantage of the court center offering.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, that would be
Yeah.
absurd.
So we don't do that. But yeah, the discounts, I think it's fair, because otherwise you're going to go somewhere else and buy it. So why wouldn't we do that?
Yep, I agree.
I
agree.
So, but yeah, let people know that I'm about at this time, and there's no obligation when you do it. So
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to start
yeah.
making sure that people are made aware, because
yeah.
I actually thought the 30% only was for LSPD.
I did too.
Well, no, you've got it on your. It's tagged. It's actually, no, it is tagged on yours. Might have to ask that.
Well, Maple
but,
did it.
I bought it.
Yeah,
I bought it.
exactly.
It
Yeah,
worked
but that's
out.
the thing. Well, there you go. You've found a loophole. Do you know what I mean? So, but it also, you can always look at there and see what there is, and then just say to him, "Can you get this for me?" Whatever.
Yeah. I know how to
but,
do it now, so I could just. It's really fucking easy. I just hit like two
yeah.
buttons.
Who Who else? Yeah, it's easy. If there's any time where you see something in stock and you can't actually buy it, where it says you can't click the button, it's because someone else is trying to sell it to us and we haven't actually done the deal yet, but it's on its way.
Oh, interesting.
But that doesn't always happen, or sometimes they come back to us and say no. But so yeah, if something's in stock and you can't buy it, it's because we're still waiting for the deal. Do you know what I mean? To finalise.
You don't actually even have the item yet.
Who else is BCSO that has done? Is it? What about Wade? Is he BCSO?
Wade Bradford?
No. Lucas, is it?
Lucas is BCSO, yeah.
Yeah, I think they've done some. I'll have a little check and I'll get back to you on that because I'll see if they've got a 30%. Because if they have, then I'll sort you out with it. But yeah, I don't know
Awesome.
why
Well, I
they wouldn't
appreciate you,
do
Martha.
that. That's so sad if they've done that, isn't it? That's so sad if they've made it so that only LSPD can do it. I do hate all that.
It probably is. I'm surprised.
I mean, it sounds like, especially with Chief Turner, it sounds like there have been a lot more sort of deal struck for the PD as a whole, as opposed to just department based, which I do appreciate. And if that isn't the case, then yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm gonna go get a mechanic to put this in.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
doing
want your
alright.
thoughts real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Because you said you were gonna shoot.
Yeah.
I was torn on whether or not okaying the shoot there or not, or calling the shoot there or not. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, it comes down to intent, right? Like his intent was to fucking beat the fuck out of Espino's and utilizing a vehicle to do so, and you know, kicking someone at the speed at which a motorcycle can drive.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I'm walking this way. I was just walking very slow so that Martha would walk very quick and I could say that she was running. So, just to mess with her, but especially if people are doing it frequently, there isn't going to be a doubt in my mind. They know exactly what they're doing. It's like if you see Speedy start rolling up to a scene, but you know you're about to get Molotov'd, you're about to get kicked, you're about to get whacked, you're about to get sweeped. You're like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just know these things are coming. You know they understand the consequences of their actions.
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
So in situations like that, especially when it's hard to okay, I think what people get caught up on is if the individual had, let's say, a wrench and they swung, without a doubt, I don't think anyone would second guess shooting, right? Because it's no different than you swinging with a with the wrench,
you swinging with a wrench on your feet.
Directly in front of them, right? You're gonna get shot. I think the moment you start introducing vehicles with the capacity to do that and kicking somebody down,
it's essentially the same.
The outcome is identical. So I don't think our response should differ when they know exactly what they're doing, because if we don't treat it that way, then unfortunately they're just going to do that every time with the expectation of like, well, they're not going to do anything to me because I didn't fucking shoot him with a shotgun on the motorcycle, so they won't, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I very much so intended on shooting and not a bullet came out of my gun. Is that a common thing?
Not that I'm familiar with.
I don't shoot my class 2 like ever.
Which class 2 do you have? You have
the
F4?
Yeah,
I can't say I'm familiar with that. You said there was like mags in it and everything, right?
Yeah, no, my mags were good. I pulled my, unless it was because
so that's why you said if you hear a shot, then disregard it. That was
yes, because then I wanted to see if I reloaded if I was gonna still have that issue, because the bitches were armored class 2s and I wanted to be prepared if they came back.
No, for sure.
You might want to go into the armory and shoot a shot and see if it fires, because my first shot did not fire. Because I'm curious to know if it's just me. Oh, jeez. Oh, my leg.
Oh, the shot.
It makes me question if it's like, did I attempt to pull it out while I was in the car? Is that like,
maybe?
I'm so
not sure.
confused.
It's
I mean, reloading resolve the issue. So maybe I just out of habit reload before shooting if I know I'm gonna have to keep it out. I don't know that.
Perhaps. I don't know, that's
That threw me for a loop.
I can't say I've heard of that situation happening before.
That threw me for a loop.
Because I guess I figured there was a better option in just letting him fuck off essentially from the situation, instead of starting a shootout with them if they wanted to come back with more weapons and get people shot.
Yeah, no, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, because I was torn on it. I was like, because I agree in with you with the like.
Listen, it doesn't matter if you're torn. The call that you make is the call that we're gonna follow through with. Now, if there wasn't a call and we have to make a judgment, a judgment call like right then and there, it is what it is. And if those differed, then obviously, we can very much have a conversation afterwards. But the moment you made the call, that was that.
I just wanted perspective and opinion on it because I was, like I said, I'm torn on it whether or not I don't want to say did the right thing, but I like to cross the calls that I make and sort of get other opinions on them to make sure that I'm kind of understanding of everyone involved in the situation.
No, you're good. I mean, you're not wrong. The reality very much so does exist that if we did open fire and he didn't go down, they leave, they arm up with more than what they potentially originally had, and then try to shoot us all down in an attempt to get their friend back.
Yeah.
Like that is very much so the reality of the situation. And again, if you are primary on scene, that is your call to make. And obviously, again, if that call isn't made, then it's sort of judgment calls sort of amongst officers in the moment, because you don't really have too much time to figure out exactly what you're doing. But the moment it was mentioned, that's that.
Yep. Makes sense. Yeah,
I'm gonna put these things in my core.
Wanted additional perspective and opinions on it. Thank you, Matt.
No problem. Where's Marpa? Martha?
Sorry, darling. What's the matter?
No, you're good.
Are you right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh.
Come over here. Martha, have you ever realized how off-center keep clear is? Right here?
Are you just rooting everyone,
no.
Matt? Is that what
Why? Why did you tell me that?
Well, because if I have to see it, everyone else has to.
No, that's not fair.
What do you mean? It's now we're on even level.
No, that's not. No. God, why would you do that to me? That's terrible.
I'm sorry. Hey, honey.
The text on the ground.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Pretty bad, huh?
I hope one day it gets centered properly.
I'm gonna get some paint and write another word there.
Please, but PLZ.
PLZ, yeah.
No, it's gonna be a short version of fucking. I can't. That's awful to say. Who did that?
I don't. It's been like that for over a year, Martha. It's so concerning. And the crazy part is, what does it say about us if we've never noticed for the longest time?
I didn't notice. Oh, we could even put
Classic
OMG.
cops.
We could put OMG with an exclamation mark. That would fit in there. Like, oh my god.
Bit unprofessional,
clear.
ain't it?
Well, oh god, that's a terrible thing to show me.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I mean, God.
I know. Honestly, this is the biggest crime against humanity.
This is awful.
Dispatch,
I'm not going to
297,
cry about it because it's not that
76
bad,
down,
but I mean, you know,
+1
it's like every day now.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
You wouldn't have taken much, that's all I'm saying.
Martha.
You know,
Where is it?
Down at
I want to know who did it now. I hope they're not working here
boy.
anymore. Attention to detail, you know what I mean? These people are looking after the
Why's the
sea,
A
mate.
split?
It's 2000,
Oh.
2000 apart.
It's got a line.
2000
Um,
apart, 2000 across.
Yeah, I don't quite know.
For
I don't quite know. Well,
Super
I'm gonna
fast.
get
Borrow you
going.
for a second.
Yeah, you don't have to borrow me, honey. You
Alright,
can
I'm gonna
have
pick up
me.
My car from Sandy. I forgot to move it to Mission Row yesterday.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just walking exceptionally slow so that when Martha was walking faster than me, I could claim she was running a mission row. She
Okay.
She
You put
threatened
your
to snitch
arms
on
out,
me.
too. What's going on?
But, you know, it's kind of
Feeling
just part of the...
summary.
No, it was just part of the whole bit.
Wait, what's the bit?
Show me 1041.
Walking... Who was that?
Who?
Welcome
Hey,
aboard.
firm 344, showing you 1041. Oh my god, it's
Oh, it's
Daisy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back, Daisy.
Welcome aboard, Daisy.
Okay, I need to ask you a question.
Ask away, honey. This sounds serious.
It's got to stay between you and me. Have you know the other day when we saw Barrett and stuff like that? Have you noticed anything about Barrett recently? Has he been like, you think he's acting all right? Everything okay?
I think so.
You haven't like noticed anything strange? Or...
No.
Just wanted to check.
Can we get in your car and just speak
Sure,
away
yeah.
from everyone? Did Hughes get fired?
Abigail Hughes?
Yeah, why is she twatting all sorts of crazy?
What's she doing?
All birds are drones, kill them all?
I think that's just Abby.
Oh.
You remember that her and Craig are together, so like, Crazy's got
Bless their little hearts.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think she's on the way out. I think she's a bit boned there, I guess, and yeah, I don't know. Is that what you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I kind of need to know why you asked about Barrick. And I'll tell you full disclosure. The reason I'm asking is because when you were gone, Barrick approached me with, I mentioned this to you, you know, I don't like when I say a deal was made or a deal was like in the making, I don't mean with you know who. Just that from my understanding, he was, well, first he asked about the white feather. And additionally, he had mentioned, brought up this like hypothetical, and I'm trying to remember the full context of it, but it was like it sort of presented a situation in which, like, I don't know if he had to agree to do something before knowing what it was. I forgot. It was in the midst of so many fucking things happening at once, but like it was a hypothetical. And truthfully, again, I don't remember the exact context, but like before this conversation, he even had us throw our phones
245,
like
do you know
away
what
from us.
turbos are on sale today?
If I recall, yeah, if I recall.
Kind of like
That's rough. Okay.
he was forced into a situation.
The highest I have right now is like a 50, I think.
I've got a 60 as a number at the moment, so that'll do.
Oh
for
wait,
now.
okay, I do kind of remember context. It was sort of like he felt as though he owed someone. Oh my god, what the fuck was it? It was something regarding like being forced to do something or owing someone or honey, my mind's all over the place. I'm gonna be so fucking for real because there was just a million things that we discussed that day. But it sort of all stemmed from everything that you're kind of dealing with, like the faceless stuff and Kane and not Kane, and obviously there was that whole situation where he was being pursued. So like I'm trying to figure out why you ask about Barrick now.
Well, I'm glad I spoke to you because I forgot that you even mentioned any of that. Okay, that kind of makes it even more concerning. So the reason that I'm a little bit worried, I guess, about Barrick, or not necessarily worried about him, but just, I guess I've got more questions than answers when it comes to him at the minute, and that's because of the whole. Are you aware of Edgar de Castillo's case in the minute?
No, all I know is that he's on house arrest in Grapeseed.
Right, so he's on house arrest for, you know, I think 5-6 murders or something like that. But
Stage 5.
Barrick was the one to do his bail hearing, and Barrick was the one to put him on house arrest. But I didn't realize until just the other day, and you know, again, this stays between you and me, but Edgar was requesting for
one moment, wait. I have stage 4s that I can sell you cheap.
Oh, you have some?
I believe I put them in my locker, so just hold off for now. I'll call you in the next like 20 or so.
Alright, copy.
Okay, sorry, go on.
No coilovers.
So Edgar essentially requested to the police that his bail get extended for various reasons. I mean, including that the chicken man being up there. So it was a valid request. He felt safer at home at the house arrest. So I let Aaron know, and Aaron went and spoke to Gravy, his parole officer, but they kind of disagreed that he'd be safer at home. And so they weren't going to request this extension because it ran out on the 1st. Like his bail, his house arrest ran out on the 1st of April. But without speaking to any of the officers involved, Barrick extended the house arrest, but only for 3 days. So it runs out tomorrow. But it's been extended for his own safety, apparently, till the 4th. But his trial isn't until the 10th and the 11th. It's a 2-day trial. The 10th and the 11th, I think. So there's a lot of questions there that I don't like, but the big one is Edgar was one of the people who tortured him when he was kidnapped by the Faceless, and now he's, you know, involved in that case, and I'm concerned, I think. And with you telling me that about the feather and things like that, I think he was talking about Edgar then too. Because I'm really felt the need to.
The conversation was specific to a theory in which obtaining 5 feathers would result in the return of somebody.
Right, exactly.
And then the feather that you have was the topic of discussion between Barrick and I. And again, this is when you were missing.
So the thing is that, and I won't get into the nitty-gritty details because I don't want to drag you too far in, but when Edgar was dead, they had managed to talk to him somehow. I'm not exactly sure how, but they being his friends and his family. And in that book that he managed to get to them, they had asked him, you know, who do you want to I guess, bring you back? And the answer was either me or Barrick. Now that I think about it, I don't know why Barrick would have been on there, unless Edgar felt. I don't know, man. I don't want to spew ideas at you, but nonetheless, I think that conversation that he was having with you was about Edgar.
I'm
and
assuming it was.
If you were
Yeah.
saying that he felt as though he owed somebody, either he owed or he was forced, one of the two. Either way, it's not good, because Edgar came back nonetheless. I still don't really know how, because Edgar has got some form of memory loss and doesn't really remember his time away. But if Barrick still feels like he owes Edgar, I'm worried as if, like, did Edgar call in that favor, and that's why his bail was extended and things like that. You know, I don't know. I'm just.
But I mean,
have
even if that's the case, right? Like, if that's a way. Now, honey, I know that, you know, just if we're looking at everything in black and white, like, does that show bias and sort of a level of corruption? Yes, I think by definition, sure. But if that's such a small drop in the bucket to essentially pay off a debt in a situation like this, is it that big of a deal?
I think on its own, I agree with you. Like, in a vacuum, I agree with you. But what my concern is, I don't know the full context.
If it goes beyond.
If it goes beyond, like, Edgar, again, between you and me, he was kidnapped while he was on house arrest. Like, the officers that were with him were held up and he was kidnapped. And after talking with Edgar, that was so that he could go and have a meeting with the Faceless, because he refused, and so they kidnapped him instead. So what I'm worried about is it's the 4 days thing. The 3
Wait,
days.
well, hold on. What happened with Barrick when he got taken?
That's what I'm saying. He said that Edgar was one of them. One of the people that was torturing him was Edgar.
And then the Faceless went and had Edgar kidnapped from house arrest?
Yeah, but obviously when Barrick was kidnapped, it was a long time ago. Yeah.
Right. No, I understand that. I'm just.
Radio check.
Oh, jeez, that's.
And then there's another issue, which is Barrick entered as the bail presiding judge for Lang Buddha's case, because Lang's getting charged with, like, 2 counts of first-degree murder, and Barrick. Actually, he wasn't the presiding judge, but somehow Barrick was involved, and now Lang is also on house arrest with Edgar. And again, it's second-hand information, but I heard that Lang didn't want bail. Like, he was not interested. But somehow, through Barrick's involvement, he's in the same house as Edgar. Now, this brings up more concerns because, to the best of my knowledge, both Barrick, or all of them, Barrick, Edgar, and Lang have had problems with the Faceless, or they've worked with them, and they're all mocked. So that's like, you know, is it a coincidence, you know, or is there something more there? So that's why I was asking you, you know, does Barrick seemed all right lately? I was worried that, you know, something might be going on. I don't know.
He has seemed fine to me. I've had a few conversations with him, and every time he has seemed like himself. What I will say is, I don't know if you heard, but remember at the courthouse when I brought up, you know, the money for the house? I don't know if you heard I think that's when Barrick said it, but I don't know if you had heard, but he had said, he made a comment regarding he would be living alone.
Oh.
And it didn't sound like a didn't sound like, oh, I have the house back to myself. You know, it was like a, it was like very sort of bittersweet, if you will.
Blue 1, blue
Hmm.
Sigma 2.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay.
No clue.
Um,
Ending 472.
And I don't think Barrick should live alone, given the circumstances. The other thing that I think is worthy of mentioning is, number one, obviously the very nature of everything here. Cane, not cane, faceless, right? All sorts of crazy stuff. But additionally, let's not forget that the faceless were discussing, or not discussing, but targeting the DOJ as a whole. Like, there were situations where judges were getting on duty and we had to go to Chiliad. You were there for that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there.
And so it's not like, I mean, yes, obviously Barrick was targeted to some degree, but every judge to some capacity was targeted. Which I think is important to mention in a situation where if there's an angle here of proving some level of like bias or conflict or anything like that, just about nearly every judge is going to be conflicted to some degree. And
Oh, yeah,
if,
I know that. I dealt with it.
if
Because I couldn't.
there is, I just, honey, I know how you are, and I know you'll take it into account, but I just want to reiterate, like, if there is something small that Barrick has to do as a judge within his judge capacity, for example, ensuring that someone can stay on house arrest, I think that's a small ask for, assuming if there is a debt, right? Like, we're kind of under the assumption that someone's holding something up, you know, over him.
Mm-hmm.
If that goes away as a result of him granting somebody house arrest in a situation like this, to me, that's a no-brainer.
These guys said they're starving. Frankly, I'm gonna be hungry soon too. Let's get some food.
We do have a lot of food in MRP.
Because, honey, I hate to break it to you, but do you know how many helicopters have flown over the prison, swooped in, and done a bunch of stuff? The answer is quite a few, from my understanding.
No, I get that. I get it. And I'm not even saying that this is what's happened. It's just that, like, I don't know. It's just questions without answers at the minute, and it's throwing up red flags. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I don't know the context. I don't know the situation, and it just, I don't know, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies, I guess. You know. So. Yeah.
I wish I
don't know
could
whether
remember my conversation with Barrick specific to the whole, like, feeling like you owe someone because they get, oh, wait, I remember using a term like second lease on life. Okay, I'm trying to piece things together here. I want to say it had something to do with, and I don't know if it had to do with this kidnapping, but like whether or not, oh my god, there's just so many fucking things. It was like, I'm trying to remember how word. I know for certain I used the term like second lease on life, and like it's gonna piss me off. It's on the tip of my fucking tongue. Like, if I had to assume, and again, I'm not certain on this, it was something like he was given a second lease on life, under the understanding that something would be done. And my conversation with him had to do with, like, explaining, as long as you are okay with doing whatever it is you are being asked to do, right? Where the consequence of not doing that is you lose that second lease on life, whereas you would have never had that second lease on life to begin with. You have to figure out what that threshold is for you. Does that make sense? I just don't remember if it had something to do with the faceless directly, or I'm assuming so, considering he was kidnapped. But again, I made it very clear to him that, like, he's the only one who could determine what that threshold is, and as long as he's okay with it, then yeah, you know, if the ask of him is something so small that in the grand scheme of things it doesn't change him or affect him as a person, then yeah, it's an absolute no-brainer. But if it's something that he wouldn't be able to live with, then realistically, there is a temporary second lease at life where the end result is something that would have just happened earlier had he not have agreed to do something and then didn't, and then
Right.
you know, like there's
It
nothing to
makes
really
sense
lose
to
there
me,
to a degree.
but it doesn't make sense in the context of Edgar and the feather and everything.
Okay, so
Like
these
you-
happened at. So the feather conversation happened on the rooftop of the Noose building, and then it transitioned into having this conversation. And the thing is, he just wanted my opinion. Like he was just asking for my stance on it.
Then that is definitely kind of making it concrete that it wasn't to do with Edgar and the feather, which again I think is concerning because, like, he wasn't given like a second lease of life by the people that kidnapped him, at least at that time, because they fucking strapped a bomb to his chest and, you know, nearly died. So then the question is, like, where did that second lease of life come from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Turn around and drive towards the vault. I need to show you something. While we're talking about this. I don't know. It's possible that it's something that never happened. That didn't happen yet, maybe. And it was just a hypothetical. Because again, this was very much so during the conversation of you being missing, the discussion of feathers, and oh, there was a deal essentially to where I could be wrong here, but from my understanding, the whole like feather thing, although I'm certain there was reference to Edgar, from my understanding, the deal was to, and again, not deal with not Kane, but the deal was with obtaining the fourth and fifth feather. I think Barrick has the fourth and you have the fifth, or if something to that extent, that would result in you returning. Even though, from my understanding, it would have been intended for Edgar and Edgar's return. So I don't know how this multi-deal thing would have worked. At least that's my understanding of it now. It's I don't know, it's confusing. Don't take this left, take the next left. Like it was essentially Edgar was tied into this needing 5 feathers to return, and then if Barrick was able to secure that, essentially the deal on the table was that he'd be able to secure you returning, was what I gathered. Okay, it's been a little while since we've had this conversation, but again, that's kind of what I remember to some degree.
All right. Yeah, listen. I don't want to mistrust Barrett, but at the same time, that gut feeling that I get when something's wrong is pretty strong right now. So I need to figure this out, or at least
stop
trying to eliminate.
To your left.
What, the click levers? That
always been there.
Been there for a while, I think. Yeah.
You know the one across from the old Hayes?
Old Hayes?
The mechanic shop on Boulevard Del Perro.
There's one there?
This is what I'm saying. And there's an office in the back, too.
I mean, it's a pretty big franchise, honey, you know.
They don't even have any employees.
Hello?
And no one's
Anybody
ever
home?
working. And there's an office there. There's a safe.
I can. Yeah. Well, this is strange.
They leave it all unlocked.
What does WEF stand for, do you think?
Wait, where's that?
On the file.